There it is. Are you able to see it, everybody?
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
we're gonna talk.
Yeah,
This is gonna be just a discussion, a friendly discussion, a talk about the technology as a resource, overcoming resistance to technology. There's always a fear involving technology to the unknown. If we are still learning it, or we're still in the process of developing these type of skills. We're on the same boat, I believe. Most of us, we're not experts, but we're trying to get on board and use it for our well-being and as a resource. Just a moment, giving me some trouble. There it is. Goals. I mean, there's always a relationship between us as a user and technology. We're trying to make a bridge and mend this relationship as we go and as we build this type of skill. Uh, Also, the goal is to teach the benefits of using technology. What are the benefits? How is it going to be a resource or a tool for our lives? And also, reframe technology as a resource that is accessible rather than a problem where we're trying to tackle or use it for our own uh, assignments or any type of activity. Any comment before we move forward? Great. Okay, so first of all, please remember that technology can be overwhelming, but it doesn't always have to be. I mean, as we get familiarized, as we do with any type of skill, topic, or activity, it's going to turn out to be a tool. Like when we're starting, like a mechanic, when they're starting to learn the trade, they don't know how to use their tools at times. But once they get a grasp of things, it starts being a day-to-day thing, and it's easier to do, and it's going to help them out do their job and their activities. So technology says this is CSV. CSV is the department we belong to at Flagstaff NAU, which is the Center for Service and Volunteerism. It's just the abbreviation of our department. And what is our approach to developing good relationship with technology? These, first of all, these resources are not meant to convince you that you have to use technology. It's just a way of building a relationship in which you feel comfortable working with technology to benefit your life. And it's also here to encourage new experiences and skill development whenever you're in the middle of a rather stressful situation, that you know that this is a friendly experience, that you remember that technology is here to help us rather than complicate our lives. It says benefits of introducing technology into our lives. Hopefully, it's going to create better time management of our resources. That's one. Um, Another important trait is that you get access to new and useful information that's in different resources or online, for example. Another good thing about technology is that it becomes easier with time. Like any type of skill or ability that you learn, it's gonna be easier with time and with practice. Um, Fourth, ability to talk with professionals. Uh, as we may know, nowadays you get doctors visits, appointments. Some of the times they're gonna be online at times. There's not gonna be anything else available. and you may have to connect to an appointment like you did today to a discussion. And it's always helpful to be able to connect to a Zoom meeting, to a virtual meeting, that it's going to help you with your daily activities. Um, Entertainment, that's a good part of technology. I believe most of us like the videos that we see online, um, in any type of platform. For example, YouTube. I'm one of the folks that enjoys watching music videos in YouTube, or at times there's basic um, activities that you may learn as well. How to do something to your car, for example, how to do something at home, or how to fix something. There's always a lot of useful videos online that are going to help this experience. Um, Also, new opportunities for community engagement. For example, we have a monthly meeting here in Yuma with WACOG, and they do the community resources meeting, in which almost all local organizations connect agencies, and we share our resources. So the ability for us to connect to a meeting like this can be very productive. The ability to connect with family and friends, that's also important. I heard on their discussion, some folks are from the back east, Chicago, some other places. You're able to connect on a daily basis, see their face, enjoy a connection that is way better than just calling by phone. And so that's always a plus. Um, any any comments, anything that you want to share before we move forward? How to change your relationship with technology? There's always going to be bad experiences as well. We have to be careful when we're navigating online, what information we share with folks online. Um, Trust, you can't trust your information with just anybody. That's very important. And there's going to be bad experiences that are going to happen throughout this process of navigating and learning with technology. Good experiences, support from others, and breaking of previously negative beliefs is how technology changes from being attached to a resource. Like, I can share an example. Um, my mom is not very comfortable with technology. She doesn't like making payments online. But then again, there was a situation where she had to, because there was time wasn't on her side. So we made the payment, the transaction was successful, and everything went well. Then after that, she started gaining more trust in making payments online. So that's always uh, it's always an asset. Also, this can be done by implementing technology into our daily lives. Yeah, like the example I just gave, making payments, making reservations, maybe renting a park for an activity, for a birthday party. That's always helpful. Also, finding a use for technology that encourages use as well as enjoyment. Yes, technology can be used for, nowadays, it's very popular that you go to school online. There's classes online, and there's always more accessibility. More spots are available for online classes. So I know when I was at NAU back in college days, I took some classes online from NAU, and it was a good experience. I mean, it was a good experience, and the I was learning the ins and outs at the beginning, but after a couple of weeks, it was pretty comfortable. Um, anything that anybody wants to add?
Just wanted to share that my daughter has been an RN in Phoenix, Arizona, and she used online classes to complete and will be graduating this August to be a pharmacist. So yeah, online education is pretty pretty good.
Great. Thank you for adding that. Yeah, it can be good
Okay.
for, yeah,
I have I have a statement, Gloria Davis.
yeah.
And now I do pay my bills online, which is convenient. Also, I doctor's appointments or having chats with my doctor. I have them on Zoom as well, which is very convenient. I don't have to go to the clinic. Um, Let me see. I now making payments, doctor's appointments, and bad experiences. Now I've had bad experiences online, for real. Um, you have to be careful, like you said, of who you give your information to, who you communicating with, and things like that. That's very important. I'm not real good at it, but I've learned the hard way. But it's good. It's fast. It's easy, but it has its bad experiences.
Thank you
I
for sharing
may
it.
I add?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Um, I have not been very good with technology, but when I right before COVID, I guess it was, you guys gave us these iPads, which and you started us with some training to familiarize us with the device and the technology, which was very, 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 very helpful. Um, I have, like you said, it's a daily thing. I use it every day, check the weather. That's the first thing I do. And it's very handy. And last year, and I was keeping up with the updates, but for some reason, my iPad was inundated with storage problems or something, and so I couldn't get the update since last year. And I called the main office, and they connected me with a very helpful tech IT person. And I had one, prior to that, but he's no longer there. But he was very helpful. We spent hours trying to figure out the problem, and thank goodness, with his help, I'm able to sit here and have enjoy this training. So yeah, it's like you said, it's a daily thing, adding more um, resources and being able to connect with family and friends and church and stuff. It's really a benefit, and so I look forward to learning more about it.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I mean, like you just mentioned, it's all about finding a use for technology that encourages enjoyment as well. Like for example, the thing you mentioned about church, it's starting to become very popular that church groups meet, different type of community groups meet online, especially during the week. Um, so it's a very good resource once you find a good use for it. Besides just being on social media and all of that, there's people that are hesitant to use technology because they think it's a waste of time. But if you find good use for it, it's gonna be productive and it's gonna be hopefully bring some enjoyment to your life.
May I say something, please? This is
Yeah,
Anne.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, as a Jehovah's Witness too, when COVID started, that's how we were introduced through Jehovah's Witnesses to Zoom, and that's how we met for our meetings, was on Zoom every week. And we still have it available, Zoom, for those who just cannot make it to the meetings. And we also do letter writing together on Zoom. And I also want to state that my daughter, the one that's pregnant, she has also 2 older children, and they do their schooling online. And that helps out since she's so very pregnant and she has a 15-month-old toddler. Yeah, that's all, I think.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, go ahead, Vicky.
I love all these ideas and thoughts about how everybody uses technology. For me, my grandma's 93 and she's a snowbird here in Arizona. So when she travels back to her home, my husband and I text her every day, and she was really hesitant to learn technology, but she absolutely loves the daily text. We talk about what she did, maybe we send some pictures. Now she sends pictures, and kind of on the vein of what we do, it's also checking in and making sure she's okay because she lives alone and she lives away from a lot of my family. And so we're able to have a daily check-in through text instead of phone calls. And she really likes that. So it's just another tool in our wheelhouse.
Great. Yeah, it can be an asset once we find a good use for it, like we've discussed, and can be very encouraging for people, give some better quality of life, and just a way to connect with people that is convenient and fast. Um, Tech focus in AmeriCorps seniors. What are the focuses in our programs in relationship with technology? Connect users with resources that they want to use and information they actually are interested in. For example, today we grabbed some information for a presentation from LinkedIn, which is one of the programs that we use and websites. Um, Provide resources for improvement and training. For example, this training is going to be visible for other folks, and it's going to be available for them. All of our summer speaker series is going to be available, and it's going to count towards their service hours, training hours. Also, you can apply technology to better connect with our members, to the community around them, like all the examples we gave with community groups, church groups, um, any type of focus groups. It's also going to be uh, an asset in that sense. Um, any comments? Reframing technology devices as toolkits. Technology can be seen as a toolbox. I mean, involving a lot of different types of tools in our box. As we get more familiarized with technology, we're going to keep growing that toolbox, and it's going to be more handy for our daily lives. Software can be a tool. Any type of software that we use, like for example, a website, uh, any type of software that's going to help us do our daily activities. Um, it's going to be another tool. We built our knowledge and toolbox of how, when, and where to use these tools with time and practice. I mean, there are software that are very easy to use, like for example, Facebook is a good software that is very popular. Uh, Zoom is also software that is very popular and it's easier to use. I don't know if anybody else has any software that they use that is very popular. YouTube is another software. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I use Facebook a lot, but I don't. The kids trying to get me on TikTok and all of that, but I'm not sure. I don't know how to work it. So I just stick with what I do. Text. I text and I do Zooms, and I do Facebook. I'm good.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of softwares out there that are very handy. Um, Something that I use for my daily job is a software for scanning documents. I downloaded it to my phone and it's called Genius Scan. I use it to scan the timesheets, important documents, and I just email them directly to my email and save them. It's a lot quicker than using the scanner, the actual machine. So that's just an example that it's going to help your daily with your daily work. And there's apps for everything. There's apps for almost anything, for exercising, for any type of activity. You're gonna find something online, and a lot of them are free. So, for example, this application that I use is free for scanning documents.
I I use I've downloaded one. It's the hymnal
Yeah,
list of all the songs in our hymnal, because I'm in the praise worship team, and so sometimes there's a song that I don't really know, and I just click on that and I can listen to the song. It actually has the lyrics and the music, and I can practice the song before I attend church. So I find that very helpful.
yes, yes, it is. Any other comments before we move forward to our break? Alrighty, we're gonna take a good 3 minute break and come back and move forward with our group activity. So see everybody back at 11:04.
Is it that new file that you got? Huh? Is that new file you got? No. Oh. This is the old one that I did. I'll fix you something to eat when this thing's over. I said, I'll fix you something to eat after this is over. Yeah. Okay. Got another hour to go. It's putting me to sleep. Yeah. I think he's trying to adjust stuff. Because I get a beautiful picture of a fan in the ceiling. I think it'll be quieter once they put that plate up. Yeah. But it's so hard to listen to it. Doesn't that hurt? Sounds like it's hurting. Why do you like that one instead of another one? Does it just not make your nails as rigid and
I don't know.
oh,
One is the same as the other.
oh. Sounds like it's ripping them off.
All righty. Hopefully everybody had time to go to the restroom, um, take a little sip of water. I know it can be a little bit tiring being connected to the Zoom presentations, but we'll try to make it as smooth as possible. And the second part of our presentation is going to be a group activity in which we're going to be going through myths and realities. So there's a lot of myths involved in technology, and there's a lot of realities. Of course, a myth is something that people say, people tend to put out there in society, but it's not always true. And a reality is something that can be checked, can be proven, and it's a you could say a truth. Um, Give me a bit. I'm gonna share a quick presentation.
I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Which one of those scanner apps do you actually use? Because I
I
have like 20 different apps on here.
I use one that says Genius Scan. It's free.
The
Gen
scanner app Genius?
It says the app name is Genius Scan.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's free. I downloaded it from Google.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. There it is. Are you able to see it?
Yes.
Okay. So today we're going to talk about it's our group activity in which we're going to discuss myths and realities about technology. This is a presentation the AmeriCorps seniors team put together for our summer speaker series. The other coordinators were not able to connect today, but I know they had to do a lot. They did a lot of good work for us during the summer. Thanks to them, we were able to put this together. Lauren, Hope, Vicky, and myself, we're gonna be discussing some presentations, and we're also gonna have presenters. Depending on the date, there's gonna be a lot of good discussions. So first, a myth. I'm too old to learn new technology. My brain just can't keep up anymore. Um, that's a typical thought of our brain. We all have bad days, bad thoughts. It's just our brain trying to limit our learning, but it's something normal to the human nature. We all have our doubts, our bad days, but we can all learn at least a little. Um, Depending on the process, it's going to take some time, but we all have the ability to learn new traits, even at an advanced stage. Reality. Your brain is capable of learning throughout your entire life. Learning new tech skills keeps your brain active and engaged. Uh, the rest of the information is there, but it says, of course, it's easier to learn a new trade as you're younger, but you can still learn anything at an advanced stage. I just saw uh, a post yesterday on Facebook about a person that graduated from the university at age 84. He got a degree, and I think that's a little bit tougher than just learning a basic skill online for technology. So it depends on the person. Um, if we limit ourselves, we're not going to learn. But if we open our mind and try to relax, per se, we're going to be able to learn new skills about technology. And also, I mean, the reality is that technology is a lot better than it used to be. For example, 10 years ago, things are more user friendly, they're more engaging, more entertaining. So it's not as bad as it used to be. Any comments?
Yes, I do. This is Anne.
Yeah.
My mom, she died 2 years ago. She was 95, but she used technology all the way through that time, even though she was 95. And she was on Facebook. She liked to use Facebook to see what her grandchildren was doing. So you can still learn at 95.
That's a great example. A myth. Technology is only for young people and not relevant to my life. That's a statement that we might or a thought that might go through our minds, but like Gail just mentioned, there's a 95-year-old that learned a new trade using Facebook for connecting, sharing experiences. It can be done even at an advanced age after 90 or any age. Here's the reality. Technology is designed to make everyone's life easier, safer, and more connected, regardless of age. For seniors, technology can enhance independence. It can connect you with family, health management, provide entertainment and learning opportunities. It's also about finding the tools that make your needs and interests. Ride sharing, for example, I know a family member is doing that right now, delivering groceries using an app. And she says that 95% of her clients are seniors and they're using the app very well. They make their grocery list and they say, I want this, this, and that from this place. And I know this family member does that. I don't remember the exact name of the app, but it's probably like Uber Eats. And so that's creates a sense of independence that you can handle your daily activities. You don't have to ask for favors. You just use an app and you get your food delivered to your door. Just in case you don't want to drive or you don't drive anymore, you can still get your groceries um, in an exact list form and deliver to your door. Um, any other examples that anybody has about?
Again, I do.
Yeah, yeah.
I get all my groceries delivered through Amazon Fresh.
Oh,
They're the only ones that I know of that will take EBT and get it delivered to you. And so that's how I have all my groceries delivered through Amazon Fresh.
that's a great example. And yeah, I mean nowadays, they're very well connected, even to EBT, for example. That's a great example that you can use your resources and connect them to your apps directly. Any other comments?
Well, it does help if you're homebound, but I think that it's still good to get up and go out and go get your own groceries because you get to pick the products you like. If you just give them a list, because I've been with somebody who ordered stuff, and if they don't have it, they either replace it with something or you don't get it. So that's the negative point about that. But it being positive for those that are homebound.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Amazon Fresh gives you the option before you get through with your order to not accept substitutes. If you don't want a substitute, you don't need to have a substitute. And if you want a substitute, they even give you a list of things that you can substitute with. So Amazon Fresh gives you that those things that you can take.
Yeah. Yeah, so nowadays apps are very, very precise. They're very well made. And it's a good resource whenever needed, whenever you don't have transportation for folks that are homebound and things of that nature, or whenever you're not in the mood of going to the store. I mean, you can always use it. And of course, it's always better to go out and do some exercise. But whenever it's needed, it's there for you to use. A myth, if I touch the wrong button, I'll break it or mess something up permanently. That's a myth. Uh, as a safety protocol or measure, most apps have a confirmation um, area where you need to confirm your order. It's not going to be just like a one-click process. So it's most of the time it's going to ask you for confirmation. So you would have to click the run button twice, which is a lot harder than just doing it once. And at times it had different steps, so it's not going to be just two-step process, just for verification. Um, like we just mentioned, for substitutes in an order that you do online using Amazon Fresh or any type of app or software out there. Anybody has an example that they might want to share? Yep. So reality, modern technology is surprisingly resilient. It is very difficult to permanently break a device just by pressing buttons or tapping on the screen. Most mistakes are reversible and can be undone. Yeah, I mean, like I just mentioned, things are a lot, they're bigger, they're better made than there used to be. Back in the day, if you would just a little bit of water would hit your device, it would break or misfunction. Nowadays, they're waterproof. They're proven for a lot of different types of actions. Um, and apps, as I mentioned, have a several step process in which you would have to click the run button twice, at least twice, to forward an action. Also, there's always resources like us, like YouTube, how to do um, X and Y process. If you're not familiar with it, like for example, if you don't know how to use Facebook, I'm very sure there's a lot of videos on YouTube that are going to help you navigate through Facebook. It's going to give you a complete breakdown how to use the website or how to use an app, for example. Any comments? So moving forward, a myth, all online interactions are dangerous. I'll get scammed or lose my money. Um, we're gonna be seeing a lot of topics this summer about scams, fraud, and all that. We're trying to get our team as familiarized as possible with scams and frauds. It's always out there. There's always people trying to steal your money, your resources, your identity. But as we discussed, I mean, you just have to be careful. Trust trustworthy places, websites, and like us, for example, we're never going to ask you here directly. Give us your social, give us your account information. So you have to be very vigilant of that, who you give your information to. But at times, uh, trustworthy sources like us, we're not going to ask you for that information. Um, reality. While online safety is crucial at any age, the vast majority of online interactions are safe and beneficial. Yeah, nowadays websites are a lot more are safer. Um, there's a lot of folks monitoring that safety of the websites for the well-being of the users. Um, the internet offers immense benefits for staying informed, connected, and accessing. Yeah, I mean, nowadays, for example, with my phone, I pay my phone on a monthly basis, my cell phone. If you pay online for a direct payment, it's going to give you a $5 or $10 discount. So there's always benefits out there, and they make sure that their websites are safe nowadays. Yeah, Vicky, go ahead. Yeah, Vicky, do you have a comment?
Sorry, I thought I was talking.
Yeah.
I was just saying a couple little pointers. When you look at the address bar of the website that you're on, if it has a lock, that's one sign that it's a secure site. Another one is where you type that HTTPS, S is relating to security. So that's another indication of a secure site. And then the third thing is if you do get a text from like your bank or something, and obviously you know not to follow the text or the email or the link in it, but pick up your phone and call them with the number that you have listed. Call back to verify. Maybe they are trying to get a hold of you through email or text, but use the number that you have, not the number that's embedded in the website or the text. So those are just some quick, easy safety tips.
Thank you. Another myth, technology is too complicated for me. There are too many buttons and features. Yeah, I mean, it can be complicated at times. There's a few apps. Artificial intelligence is out there. Nowadays, it can be a little bit complicated to use because it has so many features. But there's always a one-on-one out there. There's always a tool that is going to help you navigate through things. And there's resources out there and classes for everything. So whenever you feel like you're not learning a trade or learning a process, there's always good to research out there what's out there for uh for a one-on-one or an orientation type device. Reality, many common tech devices or apps are designed with simplicity in mind, especially those popular with seniors. Yeah, I mean, like for example, the Amazon Fresh is designed for seniors or for anybody out there, but it has a focal point for seniors, so they try to make it as simple as possible. And any type of app, I mean, if it's too complicated, they don't launch it anymore. So they keep in mind simplicity and how practical it is. Um, a great deal of importance. You don't need to understand every single feature. Focus on the ones that are most useful to you. Example, think of a think of it as a car. You don't need to know how the engine works to drive it. Start with one simple task and go from there. Yeah, that's a good example. I mean, um, a lot of us have cars. We don't know exactly how the engine works, but as long as we give it maintenance, for example, change the oil, do the basic maintenance, and drive it with care, I mean, that vehicle's gonna last, and you're gonna be able to go from point A to point B. Um, any comments?
Yes, this is Gloria Davis. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because while y'all was talking, I was listening, but I was also using my scooter to come up to Walgreens. Now my daughter just asked she want to call me to bring me to get my medicine, but I'm here now. But anyway, I use Walmart and I use Fry's app sometimes for my groceries. But it is, a good thing to sometimes do your own shopping because, like the young lady was saying, that you can pick out your own stuff because sometimes they do substitute and they do give you different stuff. So I've had real life experience with that. But a lot of times I like Google too because I can go to Google. I don't know if be telling the truth or not, but it gets me what I need to get, the information that I need to get. But I really enjoy some technologies. But right now, y'all, I'm finna pick my medicine up, but I'm listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I
They,
like to do my own shopping. And as long as I'm healthy enough to do it, I will do it.
yeah, exactly. Lorraine, you raise your hand.
Yes, I wanted to share that I do the bill pay, you know, how you pay your monthly bills.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best thing I've ever learned how to do, because that way you program when you want to pay them, you know, closer to the bill date that it's due. But for me, it's been one of the best things that I've done is that bill pay through my credit union. Just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, and technology can also save us money. I mean, for example, with anything financial, if you set up for automatic payments, you're not going to miss any payments. Hopefully, you're going to have funds in your account, right? But overdrafting is not going to be an issue. You're going to make your payments on time, so it's going to help with your credit. Yeah, so there's a lot of benefits to it. Another myth, I don't need technology. I've gotten along fine without it this long. Uh, it can be that you've gotten along fine, but it's always gonna help, and it's gonna come to a point where you're gonna need to use it. Like even for parking, you're gonna have to use an app. A lot of times, especially in bigger cities. It's gonna come to a point where you're gonna have to use it, so might as well get familiarized with it as much as possible. Another reality says, while you certainly have technology can enhance your current quality of life and open up new possibilities, it can make things you already do easier. For example, appointments, connecting to any group online, uh, share experiences about hobbies in a target group or a focus group. I mean, it's not about replacing what works. It's about adding convenience and enriching tools. Yeah, it's about being practical and convenient. That's what technology is supposed to be about. Um, and you don't have to use certain aspects of it. You don't have to, for example, if you don't want to use artificial intelligence, you don't have to use it. But if it's an asset that's going to help you write a paper, for example, and you don't have any ideas about how to write anything, artificial intelligence is going to give you some ideas. Myth, senior-friendly technology doesn't exist. It's too expensive. Um, like I mentioned, a lot of apps nowadays are free or they're very convenient, fee-wise. They're most of them are affordable, and like I mentioned, a lot of them are free. Anybody that wants to mention a free app that they use online? Um,
The Fry's app for groceries.
Price app, yes. Like for example, I'm big about eBay. Now eBay has their own app, so whenever I want to navigate through eBay, they has it has their it's app and it's very convenient. It has the messages portion of it. It has the items you purchase, so you can track your items for shipping and handling. So yeah, it's very convenient. Reality, manufacturers are now increasingly designing devices and apps specifically with seniors in mind, opening larger texts, simpler interfaces, and accessibility features. Many electronic devices are quite affordable nowadays, not like back in the day where any nicer device was very expensive, like an app, a tablet back in the day was very expensive. Now they're very affordable. And they're connecting with local centers like libraries and community centers to find resources and low cost options for everybody. Like, I don't know if anybody has seen at their cities that they set up little shops where they're handing out iPads for free from the government. There's a lot of incentives out there to um, provide technology to everybody and make it affordable and convenient. So that's about it